expecting them to go for the win for the tournament, but definitely expecting them to be in the grand final.
So let me rephrase my question, because I asked you just exactly what the desk just explained, and that was kind of weird of me. Instead, I will ask you. Oh
man, I had it.
No, you did well. I want to ask you instead, though.
Oh, good.
Have you seen enough from Full Sense, just to pick them for now, that you believe they're capable of making it happen with 2 Miramar games to go?
Not really.
No?
Unfortunately, not really. I mean, it is 20 points in day one. They've only gotten somewhat more than 8 points. I don't know. We haven't had a full updated leaderboard just yet for me online, but
it's not been pretty.
It's just not been good. Yeah. It's not been good, and this is a team that they've been around forever. Like obviously, not under the Full Sense banner.
True.
They're previously known as Day Trade. But that's a team that has the pedigree. Like, that's a team that we expect to see in the grand final.
Exactly. And a team who, I mean, obviously there was massive roster changes in Thailand whenever Norrøns were no longer a thing on the former Day Trade roster. There's been so many things going on in Thailand over the last year that I think Day Trade finally started to get things going. We were talking about how Belmont could now kind of be unleashed and not play under Norrøns any longer. They could figure things out amongst one another. Now they get a new banner to represent as well, and then not being able to perform in one of their first tournaments with the new team is not what you want to see. But hopefully somehow, with just 2 games left to work with, these Thai players can make it happen. They're currently down on the southern side, just south of Las Leones, where TD Team and VP seem somewhat entangled.
Yeah, fortunately for both of those teams, it's a big old city. And
that is true.
They should have plenty of time to loot up by themselves. And and just like that, start going all the way to the northwest. So TDT kind of in the driver's seat as far as Los Leones is concerned. They can kind of leave whenever they want. You start looking at all the teams towards the south. A lot of options here about how you want to rotate in. Whether you want to do the long to the south, coming from the southwest side, or if you want to go all the way to the north, coming from the northeast. It's a lot of options.
Nixie saw them land here. He's jumping around in the open, shooting for bait? Question mark. I mean, I'm wondering, is he trying to pull them his way and set up some sort of trap? Because his entire team is on the far southern side. So, I mean, you don't shoot like this knowing there's another team around you if it's not because you're trying to draw their attention.
Yeah, maybe Peacock, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not sure, because I thought normally you would do that to have them come after you, and then you have a guy holding the crossfire.
It's working. You got Huang is creepy walking just to make sure he hears any footsteps that may be approaching. And meanwhile, Nixie is just making his way. He did that just so he could get across that street for free.
Exactly.
And it worked.
Maybe he's just trying to, bait enough attention that that allows for him to escape, and able to do just that. Circle, as we saw before, is up towards the far northwest, and plenty of, we can call it pretty obvious rotations come to mind as we look at this map. Probably you have the far southern rotation through Val del Mar, you have the up and over in La Cobraria. Are there any other in particular that you would think, I mean, for example, take a look at Pero, far out on the eastern side, not taking into account, of course, E-pickups. How would they go about their play?
I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea what you just asked me.
How Petrichor is going to rotate? How is Petrichor going to rotate into this next circle?
Petrichor? Oh, okay.
Without an E-pickup.
Without an E-pickup.
Because that's the easy answer.
I think you take the long north route, right?
Yes,
I think you come in from that Oasis, La Cobraria kind of spot. But the where it starts getting a little bit more complicated is if this circle does kind of favor towards the southwest and it turns into one of those El Pozo field type beats. That's when it gets a little bit concerning. I mean, look, again, we're keeping eyes on a couple of teams in particular here. Na'Vi, they've got center circle, essentially. They've got kind of their option as to what they want to play around towards whether they want to play in the hills just to the north of El Pozo. Obviously a pretty good good shout.
Yeah.
And, you got Ferris on the high ground here. We'll be able to scout a lot about what's going on to the south. So if they do want to make moves, they can kind of have a good idea of what's laid out in front of them. So hopefully for Na'Vi, they can kind of find a way to make things work this time around and get that ball rolling in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, they are in so to say, home turf territory. They normally get better performances on Miramar, so hope for them with this first circle having come their way that they can make something happen with it, as we are seeing the big migration towards the north. We haven't seen Petrichor in particular make their rotation just yet, but both Freaks, Liquid and Buriram are starting their northern reps. A team that sat here ready and waiting though is T5. They looted in and around this area, and while I thought they might opt to go further center, they've actually opted to stick around in this split.
This is bad news for Team Liquid, obviously. So far, that last game kind of got Liquid going in the right direction, but still, it's only 18 points on the day. 2 more games left to play. I think they would love to be able to get 30 plus, but yeah, Alo just in the wrong place there, as Rossided will get that one for free.
I feel like once the first shot is fired, once I believe it was Purdy sat on the other hill, realizes, wait, there's players down here. You say buildings, don't go near any of them. They could be anywhere. Liquid, an unfortunate loss in the early game there. I don't think Alo had any idea that they were going to be around. Yeah, Buriram trying to make plays happen as well, but Freaks stopping mid-rotation, saying we're probably not going to be the only ones trying to make this play happen. Let's set up a trap, because again, these trap plays, unless if you get really unlucky and someone just beams you out of a car, or beams you out, I should say, while driving past you, they are the easiest kills you're going to come by in a competitive game of PUBG. If you're 4 guys just waiting for a car to come down the road, it doesn't really get a whole lot simpler than that. So if you can accumulate enough of these points over a 12-game series, that can be the difference maker in whether you make it to the finals or not.
Keep an eye on Buriram. I'm curious to see if they get an opportunity to go for that blue chip, get their man back, and get up to full strength.
They did.
It looks like Freaks kind of left them to their own devices here. The Expendables, meanwhile, coming in from that south side, running into a GSW 2-2 split, but it looks like they might get a little bit closer to T1. Ian already set up to maybe get an angle, but looks like TE will avoid most of that for now.
Seems like Floki's under fire as well, having been knocked further north of here, obviously, so won't be tracked on the feet as of right now. As Expendables try to run the gauntlet through the El Pozo fields up towards you. You'd imagine El Pozo City, but FN are sat here ready and waiting. You'd have to imagine at least they're going to hear the vehicles coming in. Raining, first one to fall. T1 has been in trouble all day long, and this is once again not a good start for them.
It is not. I feel like they're safe. I want to say they're safe, but you know, you never know how these things are going to work out.
Nope.
Fluky does get flushed out.
Yep.
So Therton 5 will be playing with 3 unless they're able to retrieve their man's blue chip. The Expendables, meanwhile, sending it right into the jaws of FN. Americano is kind of by himself. You see Star-Lord and Rex already trying to reposition to give their teammates some support here.
Exactly. They know there's more players around Americano. In the meantime, trying to get back towards his teammates. But how do you get out of this building when the entirety, or let's say the remainder of Expendables is on your ground floor? Do you throw smoke? Do you jump out? How do you time this to get to safety? You can see Rex and Star-Lord, though, both running over now, trying to assist their teammate.
Looks like he did take out Delwyn. So he did that going for him. And Toyo actually in a pretty decent spot right here to kind of keep track of everything that's going on in the city. And he just needs to be careful that he doesn't over-peak and overstay his welcome and get caught, because that is a very easy knock into instant flush type situation that he finds himself in.
Exactly, and should this next circle go south, you can be pretty sure that there's an E-pickup coming up the mountain right above you if you're enemy, so being on a bit of an island of his own is only gonna be a great place to be for so long once. I mean, we're already starting to see this circle shift in, but once the next circle pops, for sure you want to be grouping up with your teammates.
A lot of room on that northern side of this zone as Petrichor Road is finding to their joy. Therton 5 down to a 3-man. They are just off to their west, and DN Freaks taking up a lot of space between Lacobe and Crater Fields. So if this thing hard shifts to the north, Freaks are going to be laughing. But that still remains to be seen. VP making their way in on the southwest. They're just hugging the wall on the edge of the playable area, trying to make their way past Toyo.
Exactly, Virtus.pro, same out here far west. Where do they stop, though? I mean, how far north are they going to be willing to go? Obviously, they're coming in, I'd say, even a bit earlier than what they normally would. You want to hit that circle or be on the western edge of it right as the new circle pops, so you get that immediate reaction play on where the next circle is going to go. But I think for now, VP is going to be satisfied with sitting here down towards the crossroads, maybe looking to go further north for rotations once the next circle pops.
Good news if you're a T1 fan. It looks like they were able to get Raining back.
Yeah.
So they'll be back up to full strength. And Raining looks like he is going to be able to rejoin his team. TDT, meanwhile, just now making their way past Chumacera. Doesn't look like they're going to go too terribly deep in here. They'll wait and see what the next circle reveals, as they do have full send off to their west, but a pretty good mountain in between them, so they should be safe.
Exactly. 10 seconds to go, or make it 6 for this next circle. So, we're taking a look at the map here. Very few teams on the northern side of this circle compared to the south. Center is hard to rotate through, and there you have it. So much difficult terrain you have to maneuver through in this circle. And circle center, well, that's a field, so no one's going to be playing that for a while. El Pozo, not exactly optimal, but phase 2 city commit, some teams are going to have to try and make that play, Paul.
I think there's going to be a number of teams that try to make that play, especially the ones coming in from the north side. You see it more often nowadays, especially with these Pozo field circles, that teams are not adverse to just sending it 4 men into the city and playing their way through that. We'll see how that plays out here as Freaks, Petrichor Road, Na'Vi, Team Liquid already looking like they're skirting their just buying extends. Gonna find the wheel for Sparking, and he's gonna find the head of Sparking as well. Team Liquid lose another one.
Yep, Na'Vi trying to set up, and they do so successfully, knowing that this was going to be a funnel of teams trying to come through. And honestly, if they wait around here for a bit longer, T5 might be the next ones to make the same run happen. But, I mean, even with the loss of Sparking, at least they make it to the city. And should circles continues to go this way, there might be placement points and kills to boot for Purdy and Luke, who now find themselves alone on the east side of Pozo.
The Buriram, they were doing that wrap around to the north side, but now that the circle has gone to Pozo, they've changed their minds. We're going to come back down to the south, try to avoid Petrichor Road after they took out Riz.
I mean, in the last game, we had Liquid being the first south team. By phase 2, they were the furthest north. Now we have Petrichor being the furthest east team, and just like that, they're the furthest west. Last game, that got Liquid into a top 2 situation. I don't think as of right now it's going to be that blessed for Petrichor, but if we get enough western shifts, they might be fine as they're coming in just on the southern side of Alcantara.
Looks like T5 found themselves an E pickup, so this might be them as a 3-man. Taking that E pickup and maybe finding some high ground in El Pozo itself. Other than that, I don't know where you would go at this point, this late. See Ike's left leading the way. A lot of room on that western side to play around.
Exactly. I mean, this is a perfect overview with the map and the in-game as well to see exactly how the lay of the land is. Path & Pong now, I mean, alongside the rest of T5, they can only be going Pozo. Pozo a mountain. Yeah. Mountain, playable, but so many players are already in that area that the odds of you getting to land there is slim to none. And if you wanted to make that play, might want to wait a circle or at least another 30 seconds so that you get there once you know the circle's going to go in that direction. But only other team still yet to make their way on in is Buriram here coming in the south.
Still a lot of shots getting traded.
Yeah.
In El Pozo.
It's tire pops.
Oh yeah. See, Americano has taken a knock, and just off in the distance you can see that bright orange. Theraton 5 starting to find their way in.
Yeah.
As
get inside.
Go ahead and take the rooftop location. Well, they get everybody in there. That's fine. Now they do have Liquid just underneath them, I believe.
I mean, if someone can get a Panzerfaust rocket through that small window up on that roof, that's a quad kill waiting to happen. We'll see if that's going to be the case or not. At least the Expendables are now aware of exactly where all these T5 players are located. But let's see this next circle pop. Are we going to go city proper, or does it swing towards the south that we've seen so many times before? It is gonna go towards the west, and this is interesting because now we have circle center on playable terrain, which makes that phase 4 prediction very hard to calculate.
Yeah, this is tough. This is definitely tough. I feel like most of the time you either see it.
It should shift northeast, but
yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be unplayable in that too, so it's practically uncallable. Issue for everyone out inside the circle right now is, where the hell do you go?
Honestly, I'm just going to watch where Batulins takes Twisted Minds, because that's going to tell us everything we need to know. Well, a number of teams running right past each other right now. Theraton 5 with that high ground. We'll take a spray down onto Purdy Curdy. We'll find him. Path & Pong will secure the kill, as example trying to get a few more shots into Na'Vi in passing. But now they've got to turn their attention towards Team Liquid. It is just brutal in the fields already.
We're talking last resort locations, the furthest back page on the playbook being utilized right now. We're only in phase 3 as the pull-up comes through. So said MG3 in hand, finds the first one, goes for the second one as well, as he peppers down Twisted Minds. Just Perfectix left alive, and I don't even know for how long he's going to stay on his feet.
Well, never mind.
There you go, he's down.
I changed my mind. Maybe don't look at where Batula decides to go, because that did not work out very well for them at all. Na'Vi in perfect position with the perfect weapon for the situation that presented itself right there. That MG just absolutely decimating Twisted Minds. Well, Na'Vi still has Fairest hit that high ground off to the north, and Hackatory still kind of pinned down under here, while Theraton 5 still holds on to their high ground spot.
I mean, if you're Na'Vi and Team Liquid right now, you're kind of saying thank your Expendables, because they were the ones suppressing Theraton 5 up on that roof when they first started taking shots towards the rotations coming through below them. So able to keep them up on that roof at least for a little while longer, as we see this next circle starting to close in. I think immediate chaos has been dealt with, as the only teams that really need to group up now is Na'Vi set in a pretty awkward 2-1-1 with Fairest up on the mountain, 2 players down on the southern side, and Hackatory still on the silos.
Yeah, everybody mostly inside the zone, as you mentioned. 17 just hugging the southern part of this circle. Fairest has now left his high ground. We'll try to take the They'll try to circumnavigate, or circumvent, rather, Theraton 5.
Brave rotation.
Deep into the fields. And fortunately for him, GSW not really looking over in that direction. He's going to go and rejoin Sosit and Extends, and it's a pretty clean rotation, all things considered.
And it's a great timing on his part. Of course, he had the higher ground Fairest that is looking down towards GameStart Win in that compound. When he sees great, their compound is outside circle now. They have to move too, because they were looking up his way, taking shots at him initially, but now they have to make a move themselves. They can't be focusing on me with T1 next door. Circle does swing towards the northeast, and now it's the teams down on the southwest side having to make plays. But of course, with most teams expecting this circle, the vast majority kind of played for phase 4 as soon as they even saw phase 3 pop.
Yeah, T1 in kind of a weird spot right there. They sent 3 to see if they could maybe catch GSW slipping, but they didn't want to full commit, because especially now that that circle is popped, Heather has that compound on the southernmost side. They are just expecting to get pushed at some point here, as GSW just trying to find any port to call home, and the hay bales will keep them alive just a little bit. Rossiter, though, he will still find that angle.
I'm worried for GSW. It's all about bye-bye my tires, bye-bye my van. It's not a whole lot you can do. Hopefully circles come your way, because making a run in the open through those fields ain't gonna be pretty. In the meantime, full sense, they're gonna send a full send up towards that northwestern side. Play it safe for now. Wait for the circle to make its thing happen, but they're being tracked by TD team, who is in a great position to force them going further north, and that's exactly for what they want to do. Avoid that conflict, because maybe then, if full sense goes into Petrichor, goes into Freaks, that's a third-party opportunity for them to engage on.
There you go, another gatekeeping opportunity for T1. Keeping eyes to the south. Raining will have to pull back down, and I don't know if they know how close Xiaobei is. He's within utility range. That grenade going to find some damage, but doesn't find the knock just yet. That second one will go just off to the left, as T1 is just going to go ahead and retreat back to the hard cover of their compound, while 17 will do the same, essentially retreats back towards the south side of this, and we'll try to find a different way to approach this zone.
In the meantime, towards the western side of the circle, Freaks and Petrichor are actually having a straight-up 4v4. Petrichor tried to collapse on the split Freaks, but they immediately responded to it. And once again, in a rare case, it's Ixlef falling first. That's kind of been the Petrichor issue all day. He is such a powerhouse of a player when given a flank from his teammates, but he gets taken out before those fights even happen. So Petrichor in trouble, thought they had the end Freaks in trouble, but nope, that was the other way around.
Now they lost Chewy as well, so Petrichor down to just Nan, as 17 try to come in from the dead south, and they run into Toyo. They do manage to get the knock onto Emmy, and might be able to get Lil Ghost back up, and you can see T1 is looking over in this direction as well. They have angles. Emmy should be able to get back on his feet, as they do have that hard cover to play with. And Theraton 5, they actually get Fluky back, so they're going to be 4 strong once again, playing from El Pozo.
Up in that northern side, if they get the circle that direction again, it's going to be the best E-pickup they've ever executed early on as they get up on that roof. But yeah, I mean, down towards the south, 17 Gaming, they would be all right had there just been one side shooting at them. But right now, they can't suppress at all. T1 is shooting from the comfort of this wall. As you can see, you have TD Team on the other side. There's no safe angle for 17 to play. They're waiting next circle, and oh my wow, it's shifting north once again, Poro.
Off of that second circle pop, you never would have predicted that this would still be an El Pozo circle, but that's what we're playing with, and Theraton 5 going to be the big beneficiaries. Expendables and full send actually going to be in a pretty good spot here, as well as 17 just refusing to go down. They are fighting just through everything. TDT, they take one knock, and immediately 17 going to try to capitalize on that.
You're only going to be giving so many chances to make a play, and I shouldn't say they can't make a play. I say they shouldn't be able to make a play, but they're making opportunities where they weren't on. Thing is, TD Team knew exactly what was about to happen. They instantly shut down the 3-man push, and now it's just Xiao Wu left alive on the hillside down below.
What a
great response. Yeah, amazing.
Great response from TDT there, as 17 was going to try to capitalize on their knock, but they were ready for it, and now 17 down to just Xiao Wu, as TDT will get June back on his feet, and they'll get in the vehicles, try to find a way into this zone, but Virtus.pro has been sitting here ready and waiting. So TDT, they have got their work cut out for them.
There's making space and there's taking space, and that's what we're seeing happening right now. TD Team trying to push further forward, figuring out which team can we dislodge, which team can we force into not just like a couple of dips, but into one small position. As shots being fired from across the map here. Nixie finding a knock on Emmy.
Look at it, Xiao Wu. He was kind of playing behind him, and yeah, he's going to find Wong F as they try to make the run. He will go down in the end, but he's going to take 2, and now TDT, after getting that full reset, they are down to just 2 as Virtus.pro looking over in that direction as well. T1 still fighting their way through Toyo, and it looks like both sides have taken their knocks, but somehow Petrichor Road, they're still alive with 2, despite being down to just 1 player moments ago.
They're living by the fact that no one can fight them around each other right now, because they did what they had to. They got on the inside of the shenanigan out on the edge, and now those teams are going to have to fight one another, as we're seeing right here. T1 trying to take the fight to Toyo. They need to suppress, but every time you peek up and over, the teams that are sat in the comfort of the buildings inside southern El Pozo get free shots at you. Toyo, though, on the good side of this one, trying to take this fight to T1. Oh, well placed. Nathan Benya here could be big.
A little bit undercooked maybe, and it's going to fall. Yeah, that's hard to hit those on those hills. And will go down to Capitan.
Just raining
now, dancing around. He's going to spot Capitan, but not before Benya puts one right in the dome. And that is it for T1. Freaks, meanwhile, they came up behind Virtus.pro and took advantage. They will take care of them. Looks like they should be able to get their knockman back up.
And you're really wishing he wasn't shooting blanks there, because a big knock on Human would have been potentially what could have made the rotation, but I stand corrected. Thank you, Pena, for shutting me up, as they do find the knock in the end of a deal gone down once again, and there should be no way they commit to the rest. I say that, but Heaven is still on him.
I mean, that might be a little bit more annoying for Freaks more than anything. I mean, Toyo's just so far away, they can't really capitalize on that knock, and they'll just continue playing around their ridge line here. They do have a path in to the next circle if they choose to take it, but meanwhile now finally El Pozo, all our teams that were playing in buildings, they're going to have to start making moves here. They're top 5. They've just been farming from those high ground positions, and they're going to finally have to make their way in. FN, they've still got 4 up. They hold the only compound really still inside the zone, as the Expendables and Full Send will have to find their way.
A great overview here. You can see just in front of Toyo what they're working with. They don't just have to walk through the valley, they have to come downhill into it first. Such a great opportunity for DN Freaks to get points here. All you can do if you're Toyo is expend literally all the utility you have available to try and make that play happen. Freaks back to 4 on their feet. There should be no way for Toyo to get inside this circle. I mean, outside of maybe staying alive by the amount of smokes they have, but as you can see, they barely have any available.
And they also still have to worry about the shots from long range from their top 5 as they get another knock there on the Benya. Freaks had a little bit of a slow start today, but they have found their footing. 7 kills now, and looking to add a few more as they have complete control over that southwestern side. Full Send, though, are trying to wrap their way down in this direction after leaving El Pozo, as the Expendables still just kind of square off with Theraton 5.
I was going to say, you have to imagine they stay roadside. No way they're going to commit to driving up that hill, but I like the wrap. I like the split out here for Full Sense. Get yourself an inch towards the next circle as Tanvu now tries to fend off against Theraton 5. If they can claim the east side of this city and the next circle coming north, that could be huge. 0 kills thus far for Expendables, who are the first team to contest inside El Pozo proper, as Tanvu is trying to dodge and weave and get back to safety. That safety is temporary, though, as we now go back towards the south, where Freaks are, I mean, again, kind of as expected, starting to dismantle Toyo.
Yeah, Capitan was able to separate a little bit from the rest of the squad, but really it's just hiding in a little ridge line with a protection of a Bronco. That's about all he's got to work with. And lest we forget, Na'Vi, we were saying that they needed to have a big response here in these final 2 games to really secure their spot in the grand final. Well, they've got 6 kills so far. They've got 3 alive, and they have got a good spot in this zone. They can hold on to it.
And again, a lot of their points coming in the early game, where they didn't have a whole lot to risk themselves. Got a couple of points off of rotating players through the early game. Found through the mid here, as we now see Expendables try to make something happen. All of this failed. Full Sense push. Good thing for FN on this hold is they haven't taken any casualties thus far, so they're actually ready for this.
This is tower defense at its finest here from FN, as they hold off their Full Send. They're now holding off the Expendables. Tanvu, the last one left alive, might be able...
Ooh, nice flash.
Nice flash, they're not going to waste any time. They want to make sure they clean him out. So 6 kills now for FN, as you can see them continuing their climb up the leaderboard.
Exactly. Instantly, we go over to Theraton 5, who, with the fights happening towards the east, know they have to make plays now themselves. Issue is, Soset is still active and kicking with the MG3 in hand. Double blue so nail up around the corner. He has teammates to hold out, but they need to look the other way as well. For now, it's Soset on a solo mission if he opts to wrap around this rock.
I love this from Soset, though. This is bulldog behavior, coming in and forcing Theraton 5 to move around, to put themselves into bad positions. And
there you have it.
But that's the bad thing. Salute finds the angle. He's going to find Soset. Extends goes down as well, and just like that, snap of your fingers, Na'Vi is once again back there. But look at Hakatori.
Yeah.
He's going to find 2 of them at least.
Making that Dragunov sing, but has to do more than just that. And this is exactly what we were just saying. You have to, if you're Na'Vi, commit your players to looking south, but the curve on the hill is so steep that they couldn't see over the top. The silhouettes on top were outside of their vision, so all they saw for free was Soset's back turned, and just like that, Na'Vi is torn apart. And for Theraton 5, honestly, best thing they could do here was just what they did. Just extend, just survive for long enough that that their split position gets punished, and now you can make the full play only looking inward.
It's really good play by Nan there.
Yes.
Down as a solo, but they knew that Na'Vi was down to just 1 as well. So he made that aggressive push, but Fluky will spot him out, and that'll secure Theraton 5's path into the zone. But Patampong will get spotted out by Salute. Deal will find Ranger Rex, and now Fluky, once again, the last player up. But look at the flank from Rex. Gets him from behind. Star-Lord and Rex immediately turn the tables.
They made the wrap out early on, and I love what I'm seeing. The timing couldn't be any better. You have all of Freaks with their backs turned. Paper Thing called it earlier as well. Freaks tend to give up open angles behind them. It has cost them before, and it cost them here dearly against their countrymen as well. Rex was one, in my opinion, the players that really made Toshi the powerhouse that he is today, and now we get to see him unfold as well. As Star-Lord finds one more, just 1 left alive from Freaks in the blink of an eye.
Just a nasty flank angle from Star-Lord, playing from the north side in the city as the push comes through. Deal will go down. And
what a
FN now up to 10 kills. While this was happening, though, Fluky able to get Patampong back on his feet, so it is going to be a 4v2. But Star-Lord still has that nasty angle from the north side as the death ball continues to wrap around from the south.
You'd have to imagine this is going to be a win in the books for FN. But having said that, we've seen some wild things happen for T5 today already. So Patampong, Floki, now they know where you are as well. Play the numbers, guys, my men. You are in a great position to bring this game home.
Theraton 5's flipping the switch here on day number 2 as they 8 kills, 57 points overall, but it might be asking just a little bit too much for this two-man squad. Take down FN as Star-Lord once again will make that Dragunov do work, and they know exactly where Pathum is. See if they can get the point for him.
And this is one of those amazing wins where you got it here, 12-kill victory for the boys. Jeez, World Championship coach here standing behind them instantly there with the high fives. A win that you didn't see coming with the amount of points that it gets them here. They were sat tight in El Poso for the longest of time, but most importantly for them, they maintain buffer space throughout. No one ever collapsed upon them, and when they did in the end, they were there. They were in position, ready to take them head on. Two teams fight towards them, same time they deal with them, and then a great push out of Poso to win it.
Well, we've got one game remaining, but some of the teams that we were saying, like, they need to start finding their footing here, especially teams like Navi. Finding a little bit more success there. In the end, they do go down, but not before collecting a nice little stack of kills for themselves, and they put themselves in a nice situation going with one more game to play. Definitely. They still need a nice little stack to be sure of themselves, but this is great for FN. They have